The 5th installment for the SmackDown vs. Raw series 2009 was released on November 9th, 2008 for the PS2, PSP, Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, the DS, and mobile, with this year's gimmick being the long, lackluster, forgettable match, Tag Team. I'm not sure how this will make a selling point, but DX was big at the time, so why not? Embrace yourself, fellas, cause this is when everything starts to go downhill. Gameplay. So they decided this year to revamp everything due to the fact that they thought that the whole fighting style feature was a bit limiting. I'm personally assuming that they were playing with The Undertaker one day and thought, I can't dive outside the ring! So what they did was take those special abilities that was with the fighting styles and made it into little individual skills you can just equip to a wrestler. So now certain wrestlers can have what they also have on TV, such as Randy Orton, whose fighting styles are dirty and showman in 2008, but he wouldn't have abilities like resiliency or durability like in 2009. Just small stuff like that. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 introduces new tag team mechanics, creative finisher, inferno match, road to WrestleMania, highlight reel, tribute to the Troops Arena, storing signatures, new outside camera, creative character posing, roster editor, song skipping, and DLC, while getting rid of GM mode, creative belt, fighting styles, in-crowd fighting, and the Buried Alive match. Not a lot was taken out this year exactly, but it sure does feel like a lot, especially since this game has a number of flaws. But first, let's check out Triple H's entrance this year to see if that still holds up. It's great all around, however it's the same animation from last year's. Soundtrack. This year really does lack in a lot of fields. It just sounds like a bunch of indie tracks thrown into a playlist along with a Disturbed and POD song. I'm assuming they were trying to save money this year because they decided to put entrance themes in the soundtrack as well, which I personally think is a cop-out, but I think it's kind of refreshing to hear a certain superstar's theme all the way through though. But if your soundtrack ain't making me do this, then you failed, son. Creation. The same as 2008's, but this time you can create a finisher, which is just this new feature where you can select through a list of animations to create your own ultimate match ender. It's okay. And there's this new highlight reel mode where you can record, cut, and edit matches to keep. Modes. 24/7 concept was just thrown completely out the window for this new linear monotonous attempt at a career mode. Honestly, it's in literally the worst condition I've ever seen it in. Basically, you choose a wrestler, either male or female, and you just play matches and boost your stats. That's it. And I find it highly irritating because this is the only way to boost your creative characters overall. I commend them on the concept that you gain abilities and attributes based on what you did in the match, but there's no drive to keep going, you know. It just gets really boring really fast. However, I'm only assuming that career mode is only terrible because Road to WrestleMania mode is a thing, where you select the superstar to play through a pretty well written storyline, well except for Cena's, making your way to their WrestleMania moments. There's even a co-op one too, to expand on a revamped tag team system, online. It's the same as 2008's, but you can upload highlight reels now. And exploits have truly taken a toll, which is why I said that creating a finisher was okay. But hey, GameSpy is back to host the servers, which was truly a laggy mess, I assure you. Ports. PSP version has no additional features this time. It's just 2009 on the PSP without highlight reels or announce tables. That's it. Nintendo DS version of the game is way better than last year's because it's not as gimmick heavy with the stylus. It also looks like a traditional wrestling game this time, that you still had to use the stylus for. The Wii version of the game, however, got way more gimmick heavy with the nunchucks though, with it affecting your entrance, winning animations, and finishers. But other than that, it's just the PS2 version without creative finisher. The 360 and PS3 versions both now have the ability to add custom theme music, and the mobile 2D and 3D games are essentially okay, basically mimicking a DS or GBA counterpart, you know? And that ends it for SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. It's awful, never was a fan of it, still not a fan of it, and it's not worth going back for. Now don't get me wrong, there was some fun to be had with this game. It was just lacking a lot of stuff to give it some replay value in my opinion, especially due to the lack of Legends, which was later fixed with the game Legends of WrestleMania, where you can import wrestlers from 2009, but not vice versa. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 is literally the definition of taking 5 steps forward and 10 steps back. It also didn't help that DLC came into play. The greed was sure to set in.
I've been there before, I got my stories, I know you got yours. These are our scars, this is our war. You got your pride and I got mine. It's all out war when you